Right, hello everyone and welcome back to Full House Sports here, myself Charlie. Firstly, apologies that the video is going to be looking like this. I've left my tripod somewhere, but there is a few things I wanted to talk about in the boxing world, British boxing world, and I wanted to get off my chest, so appreciate the love and support as always. Right, first is first, unless you've been living under a rock, you will have seen that Ben Whittaker, one of British boxing's most controversial and possibly biggest future stars, has signed with Matchroom. Last night the video was quite entertaining, I must say, even though I'm not always a fan of the Eddie Hearn social media stuff. Listen, the video was really good. It's a huge move for Ben Whittaker. It's a huge move, and I think the repercussions are massive. Firstly, the repercussions are massive for Boxer, Ben Whittaker's old promotional company. It's got to be pretty gutted. You've just signed this new deal with the BBC. You've just got yourself a broadcast deal, and probably your biggest star or your biggest future star goes to one of your biggest rivals. That cannot be very good for Ben Shalom. I did say last week or a couple of weeks ago when I spoke about the Ben Shalom BBC deal, I was wondering how it was going to work because, let's be realistic, we all know how the BBC is funded. We all know it's through our licence fee, through our taxpayers' money. Are they going to be able to find or fund the big purses for the big fights? No. And that's not me being a hater, because I think it's brilliant that the BBC are broadcasting boxing. It is fantastic. I've got a lot of time for it. But imagine if the licence fee payers say, hang on a minute, you're paying X amount of money to this fighter or that fighter. How are you affording that? And the BBC is already skating on thin ice without getting political. So they were never going to be able to do this. They were never going to be able to pay for that. And I think this is shown. I think it's shown where Ben Shalom's got to go. He's got to start growing stars organically because, let's face it, he's probably built his promotional career off fighters that other promoters have promoted. Kell Brook, Amir Khan's probably his biggest event. He had nothing to do with their careers until that last fight. I know Ben Shalom was talking about a headline card in Birmingham with Ben Whittaker in November. That doesn't look, well, that's not going to happen. And yeah, not a great start. He's going to have to go down to small hall shows, which wouldn't actually be a bad thing. He's got to build young fighters up, which would be good to see, to be honest with you. As for Matchroom, I think this is a brilliant signing, and it's exactly the antidote to what they needed. I said it myself in a video the other day. I thought maybe he took his half the ball Eddie Hearn on the UK market. Frank Warren seemed to be snapping up all the young talent. Ben Whittaker has completely broke the mould with that. He has completely broken the trend to go to Matchroom. It's a fantastic signing. Listen, whether you love him or hate him, I'm not a massive fan of him. I still pay to go and watch him fight. And that's the brutal honest truth. The reason I go and pay and watch him fight is because I'm always paying to see him lose. Floyd Mayweather made a career out of that. People paying to watch him lose. Look how much money he weighed. And he didn't lose. So you either love Ben Whittaker and you love the antics that he's doing, or you don't. But either way, you're watching. He gets eyes. And for Matchroom and Eddie Hearn, he's going to know exactly how to utilise that. And that is massive, because for any promoter, if you've got someone who's really marketable, it makes your job a whole lot easier. Rather than having to sort of force something or force a persona on them. You don't have to force anything on Ben Whittaker. He does it himself. His social media does it himself. What they do with him, I don't know. That light heavyweight seems pretty stacked. I do think a fight with Khalil Coe will be inevitable. Potentially later down the line, Callum Smith. I don't know. I guess that depends on the result of his fight with David Morrell. Listen, I don't know where Ben Whittaker sees himself or what he wants to do. A lot of the light heavyweights on the domestic scene are in with Frank Warren. That's the other thing. But I guess with the DAZN deal, that them fights are no longer that hard to make. But you think Buatsi, Parker, Ray, Arthur, Edmondson, Ezra Taylor, they're all in with Queensbury. So where you go with him, I don't know. Anthony Yard as well is another one. Obviously, he's got the Benavidez fight coming up. But Ben Whittaker's a man with world title aspirations, and Eddie Hearn will no doubt help him deliver that. Talking of world title aspirations, the other big news that I wanted to talk about, Daniel Dubois has agreed an IBF final eliminator with Frank Sanchez. And I'm surprised. And I don't necessarily think this is the right move. I was surprised because I guess with Dubois, I thought maybe he needed a couple of wins to settle in with a new training team, to maybe get himself a bit more confidence back, to now be in this position where all of a sudden he's in a final eliminator with Frank Sanchez, who is no joke, by the way, is massive. It's a real acid test, and it's going to test Dubois on has he still got the minerals. Because whether you like it or not, he quit against Alexander Usyk. And he looked to his corner and he clearly shook his head as if to say no more. Frank Sanchez is going to see that. Frank Sanchez is from the Cuban School of Boxing. His fundamentals are going to be really solid. Daniel Dubois struggles with that. He struggled in the Joe Joyce fight. He struggled in the Filip Hrgovic fight. I'm not predicting a Dubois loss. I think Dubois should have enough, but you never know. If Sanchez turns up on the night and says, I'm going to put it on you early, all of a sudden all these alarm bells are ringing. And what does Daniel Dubois do? Does he look to his corner or does he look to his dad? Because this is the other thing that's been going on and the other controversy. Who's involved and where they're involved? I just look at Daniel Dubois now and I feel sorry for him. Because I do think, do you really want this? Do you really want to be in there anymore? It's a real shame, and I never like questioning fighters' mental states because they're brave men and women who get in that ring. But you do have to question him, and he looks a scared boy in there sometimes, and that's really sad to see. Frank Sanchez, like I say, he'll be going in. What happens for the winner, I don't know. I mean, if Dubois does win, there's certainly no appetite for a third fight with Usyk. So does he, like a lot of the heavyweights, play the waiting game of what's going on with the belts? Are we waiting for someone to become vacant, someone to enforce a mandatory and become vacant? I feel so sorry for Alexander Usyk because he works his backside off to win all these belts, and then some governing body wants to collect their sanctioning fee and says, oh, you need to fight our mandatory. I feel so sorry for him in that aspect because the WBO are forcing it on him. Then you got the IBF that are very strict. They'll enforce a mandatory soon. The WBC, they like a sanctioning fee. They love an interim champion. And the WBA already have about 4 champions. So good luck to them. I don't know what some of these governing bodies expect. And as fans, we just let it happen. And this is why formats like Zuffa Boxing may well work. That's a different story for another day. Like I say, big fight for Dubois. If that, by the way, is on the December card in Manchester with Itauma and Chisora, what a card that is. Considering I said that UK fight nights were potentially dead in the water the other day, whew, if that happens, what a fight card. But I have a feeling it may end up being in Saudi Arabia, which would be a shame, but listen, Turkey Al Sheikh is putting up the money. Who am I to question? As always, guys, please give it a like. Bear with me, obviously, the video, the lack of a tripod, my apologies. Just want to say thank you for some of the comments I've been receiving. Supportive ones, constructive criticism. Really appreciated. Love the interaction. A lot of love for that. And anyone who's willing to help me and take the time to, that's greatly appreciated. Please give us a like. Please subscribe. I'm just trying to enjoy the journey. I have got different bits on the way to try and upgrade the quality of my opinions. But thank you very much as always. Have a great day. Enjoy yourselves.